No.
Hi, Bobbie. I couldn't even get in here when the elevator had to go up to 3 and down.
Yeah, well, the elevator's cold and doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 second. Oh, this needs, I think, to be, no, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. It's okay? All right. Drew, let me get, is it D-R-E-W?
Yes,
In last name?
Graham.
G-R-A-H-A-M?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Traditional spellings.
Oh, of course.
How nice. Okay, so we're rolling?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Drew, welcome to Texas, to Dallas, Texas, on
Thank
a
you very
very
much.
chilly day.
Unexpected.
If you were in Brisbane, what would the weather be like?
Well, it's quite warm at the moment. I think we're about 32, 33 degrees or so, and a bit muggier than this.
Because this is your summer, is it not?
It is, it
Yeah.
is. It's I think it's the height of the summer actually, almost getting there. So, bit of a change, but we can handle it.
Is it your first time in Texas?
No, we've actually been to El Paso. We spent we had one concert there last year, and it went fantastic. And we're absolutely pleased to be back and doing a week here in Dallas, which is really exciting.
I don't know what it is, but I found it to be true when I was a Texan traveling in Australia, and whenever Australians come to Texas, we seem to have an affinity for one another, don't we?
I think so. I mean, I think it's the accent. It's the Australians like the Texan accent, and I think it's the same here.
I had never thought of it that way.
Well, just warm and friendly. I mean, that's the way Texans are, I think, and I guess we're similar in a way, if I can say that. So it's easy to get along with us, and vice versa.
And I've always thought too that people in Texas have a love of the land, and certainly you do, as Australians, have a love of the land.
We have we have a lot of land. Of course, we have a lot of desert, and we live on the east coast in Brisbane, so we're quite close to the water. So we love that too.
Well, let's talk about the 10 tenors, because I have not seen you in person, only on television, and know about your work. But doing a little research on you, all of you are from Brisbane,
Yep.
Australia. But if I interpret the information right, you became an international hit through appearances in Germany.
Well, that was the case. I mean, we spent a lot of time in Australia touring first, and we got the act really well polished, and then we had this opportunity to go to Berlin and do a month in a small sort of cabaret tent. And we were so nervous on the first night. You know, you can imagine a group of Australian guys coming to Berlin, home of the opera in Germany, basically, and we sold this place out every single night we were there, and it's just grown from there. We spent a lot of time in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Denmark, and now we're here in America to hopefully do the same thing.
Do you sing anything in German?
We do one or two, but not too much.
Do you sing it in Italian?
Well, of course, yeah, we sing in Italian, we sing some Spanish, and we sing in Corsican as well. We do a Corsican number, which is on our latest album, Larger Than Life. It's a beautiful song, so we love it.
And French?
A little bit of French.
Frère Jacques, maybe?
Wow! Maybe not.
What inspired the act?
It was in the early days. It was a bit of a fun thing. It was the group of us guys at university got together and did this one. It was supposed to be a one-off performance, and the crowd just really loved seeing 10 guys in suits get up on stage and just really let rip with 5 or 6 big Italian arias, and something about it appealed to that audience, and we thought, well, let's do something with this and get a bit of pocket money on the side, perhaps, and so we did that for about perhaps a year or so. It was just a really corporate, casual event where we'd get together, we'd have a beer or have something to eat, have a joke around in the backstage area, and then go on stage and do our thing, and then it just developed into a full-time show, and then here we are. So.
And when did that begin?
96, it had its first appearance, and certainly by about 1999 we were doing a full show.
And were you always 10 from the
It
beginning?
was always 10. We have a bit of we had a running joke which we used to be the 13 tenors, and you know that those other 3 broke off and did their own thing.
Oh yes, we've heard about them.
Yeah, good.
Those rebels.
Oh, yeah, those rebels.
Those 3 rebels, okay. Are you still the same original 10?
We're not actually. We're not. I don't think there's any originals in this particular group, but this group has been fairly solid for about the last five years now. There's only been 1 or 2 minor changes, and that's just the fact that we are on the road for perhaps 9 or 10 months of the year. It's just such a demanding, hectic schedule that, you know, the guys that had families and things that they just couldn't get away from, they just can't do that. So it's a long time away, but we think it's worth it.
Is there a boss tenor?
Well, I think everyone likes to think of themselves as the boss, but there's certainly, we have a music director and some guys that help out in that respect, but it's you know, 10 heads are better than 1, and that's what we've found all along.
But you might also get 10 different opinions.
Well, that's the chance you got to take, I guess.
Now, how do you decide on the repertoire?
We've always we've always put forward songs that we enjoy singing, and I guess have grown up with loving those particular songs, and it always has to be something that is vocally challenging. We do a version of Bohemian Rhapsody that was put forward about 4 or 5 years ago now as, you know, a bit of a challenge to us, and because of its such demanding vocal lines, I guess it was perfect for our particular group, and we attack just about anything we want, anything, the Bee Gees, you name it, we'll do it, and we love the opera, of course, too.
Beatles?
Well, not particularly in this show, but I mean, a lot of the guys are big fans of the Beatles, and I'm sure there's a few songs out there that we could probably include in the show at some stage.
Now tell me you have Willie Nelson.
Well, we don't exactly have Willie Nelson, but we have a bit of country, well, both country and western, so a bit of a surprise that you've got to come along and see the show to see.
Oh, all right, all right. I like an eclectic show.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this Larger Than Life CD, because you've had some very good success with it, haven't you?
We have. I mean, the album was in a long time being recorded. It took quite a while, and you know, it's a new direction for us. It's stuff that we probably hadn't explored before, and it's certainly a lot of original material written by the guys and other writers we've got in, and it was just a change from our previous albums, which were more focused, I guess, on slightly more classical repertoire and more in the musical theatre direction. So even though we still have a love of that, and that's a large part of our show, we branched out and really explored the original writing in the group.
Do you 10 tenors have any recipe for keeping your throats in good shape and you know, traveling so much you probably get little colds and coughs and sore throats? Do you have any remedies for that?
Remedies? Well, we have a beer after the show each night, so I don't know if that's as part of being a good healthy diet, I guess. But I mean, the guys look after we look after ourselves, and we eat well, I guess, and it just comes with practice, I guess. Doing this, you know, 6 or 7 times a week, you get to know what your limits are, and if you're going a bit too crazy, I'm sure there's someone in the group that's going to tell you should relax and just take it a bit easy.
Does it ever happen that
we get sick?
That someone is sick and it's 9 tenors?
Well, we try never to have 9 tenors, but I mean, there's certainly, obviously, guys are going to get sick when you're on the road 10 months of the year, but we're all pretty well trained guys, singers these days, and people can manage it, I guess.
I understand you have quite a fan base of young ladies.
Well, we do.
Are all of you single?
Well, depends on who's asking. There's one. I can tell you this. One's married and one's about to be married. So the rest are in between, I guess.
And where are you?
I'm one of those in betweens. No comment.
We hear sometimes from baritones that tenors are very temperamental. Yeah. Are tenors temperamental?
Well, I guess so. I mean, the tenor's usually the star of the opera, isn't it? That's what I go along to see in opera. I go along to see the tenor, and I think they've always got to have a bit of an ego and think of themselves as the superior voice type that they are. But I think baritones are just jealous because they can't sing as high and they don't get the chicks.
Do you have an all-time favorite tenor?
All-time favourite? Probably Mario Lanza, I think. I saw him in a few movies and I really love his voice. I love the big, dark, rich Italian tone, and he's just got a great character in his voice. And
for your long-range future, do you want to just keep with the tenors, or do you have some other goal in mind?
Well, we've as a group we've got this project as a long-term plan. So we hope to be around for a while yet. So I haven't really thought in that other direction, but certainly we're heading in a group direction now.
And you're seeing the world.
We are. We certainly are. We've seen a lot of the world. We're taking in pretty much all the sights, being tourists wherever we go. And I guess it's a great thing to be able to do, is work and see the world.
You've got it made, as they say.
Well, we have. Like to think so.
Drew, thanks so much. I've really enjoyed talking with you, and I will be here tomorrow night for your opening.
Fantastic.
And I'm very excited to see you on stage.
Excellent.
And to see a whole evening of the 10 tenors.
We look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you ready? How did you become an international hit in Berlin?
Well, we started off in Australia. We did a lot of touring in Australia, and we certainly had a lot of experience and developed our show.
That's good. Okay.
Do you want to hear Mike yet?
Yeah, I want to hear him. Yeah. Yeah, it sometimes helps in the editing. I'll have to re-ask that one. Okay. What happened in Berlin that made you an international hit?
Well, we'd spent a few years in Australia developing the show, and then we took the show to Berlin, and we.
That's fine. Okay. And when did you start this?
It was back in 1996. We got together as 10 mates and.
And are you still the 10 original tenors?
No, we're not actually. We've had a few changes since then, but certainly it's the same.
That's fine. Okay. How do you decide what you'll sing?
I think the group as a whole, we decide what we like singing. We take songs that we've enjoyed singing in previous groups, or we just love to sing. And is that enough?
That's good. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. I understand a large base. The fan base for you, I understand, is in large part young women.
Oh, well, it is. I think women love our show. It's you're seeing 10 guys on stage, dressed in suits and singing big classical numbers. I think they really love that. And
that's fine. You have an eclectic repertoire. What all do you include?
Well, apart from the obvious of operatic material, we love to sing things like the Bee Gees, Bohemian Rhapsody, of course some Lovers in the Air, everything sort of, anything that we enjoy singing we'll throw in our show.
Do you have an all-time favorite tenor?
Yeah, I do actually. It's probably Mario Lanza because of his character and joie de vivre.
Baritones like to say that tenors are temperamental. Are they?
They certainly are. They're very egotistical as well. They're the star of the show. And we got 10.
Very good. Hang on a second. Is there a boss tenor?
No, we have 10 bosses. And a
And
musical
10
director.
opinions.
Well, that's the price you pay for having so many heads, I guess.
Okay. All right. Oh, let me ask you this. Do you have more than one company on the road?
More than one company.
Yes. Are, you know, like there's A company of 10 tenors, B company of 10
No,
tenors?
there's not. It's the 10 tenors are the 10 tenors. That's our thing. And the guys you see in the advertising material, the guys that you see on any TV show, that's the guys you're going to see on stage. That's pretty much it.
What is the average age of the 10 tenors?
It's about 26, 27, around there somewhere. So the oldest is 33 and the youngest is about 20.
And are you all single?
Depends on who's asking. I got to use it again.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that's great.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much.